This is our second time playing this one. This is a sponsored segment for them. But again, I generally only take sponsored segment for games that I think are interesting or neat. We played a little bit of it before taking it. I liked the gameplay last time we played, so let's go ahead and try a little bit of this again, huh? Oh, I wanted to change the deck that we had last time. So the game mechanics in this is free. In fact, you literally can't put money into the game. So they're supporting the game or monetizing their game via Patreon support. They're crowdfunding their development. And as they hit goals on their Patreon, everybody in the game unlocks things. So basically everybody gets some stuff or you earn the things that you get by just playing. We had appropriately titled this Bad Brew last time. Nope, that's perfect, isn't it, tough? I'm just going to change out a couple of cards here at the bottom end, and then I'm going to dive into a game and explain how the gameplay works here. So the deck construction is pretty unique too. So you can see there's 4 different ranks of cards here on the right side: S, A, B, and C. And your deck has to have exactly the specific number of cards in each of those. So you get 6 C rank cards, 5 B rank cards, 4 A, and then 3 S. And then your deck can contain up to 2 copies of a single card. One of the things that's really neat about the gameplay is, so the decks are 18 cards large, you have 6 cards in your opener, and then the games never last more than 12 turns. So in most games, you see your entire deck. So if you have your deck built around a specific strategy, you know you're generally going to get to execute that strategy, even if it's not in the exact same order, because there is random variance in how you're drawing. Let me add a card to my deck here real quick. It's plus X, plus everything. Sure. Let's try a couple of those. Oh, that's a B rank. I need to filter. Thought I had already done that. All right, let's start with a bot match to kind of explain some of the gameplay, and then I will play a couple of ranked matches against some actual people. Okay, so like I said, one of the reasons why I decided to play some more of this is because the gameplay mechanics are really novel. So you start with 6 cards in your hand here, and you can mulligan all of them or none of them. And the turns in this game play simultaneously, and most cards in both players' hands are face up. So at the start of the game, you get to pick 2 of your 6 cards to hide. So I'm gonna hide Bound Siren because this is a piece of removal. The game's a little bit loud. Thank you. I can pull that down. Let me know if that's better. And I'm gonna hide this other piece of removal. So I'm gonna hide these 2. So then we can see here on my opponent's side of the board. Get this a little bit bigger even. Put me like right there, over their avatar. Perfect. You can see on my opponent's side of the board here, they have 6 cards available with 2 hidden. And each turn, each player plays 1 card, and you pick the cards you're playing simultaneously, and then you flip them up. So once you get used to the cards a little bit, you can see what they do and try and predict what your opponent's going to be doing as what you're making your play. Obviously, with the caveat, you don't know what their face down cards are. So they have 2 Ashen Dancers here. Initialize, that means come into play. render a opposing and friendly creature soulless. All right, I think I'm gonna play, oh, this is slow. So slow is, because you can only play one card a turn in this game, there isn't really a resource system. So the slow mechanic is kind of their resource system. So some of the more powerful cards, like the Golden Knight here, it has to wait till at least turn 3 to be put into play. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and deploy the Bound Siren here. So the way the game system in this game works is you have 6 spots on your board here that you deploy units to. And every single turn, those units deal damage to your opponent's life total equal to their power, except with the card like Bound Siren, where this card has the hunt mechanic. So the Bound Siren attacks my opponent's units directly, as opposed to attacking their life total. So it's a controlling card. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my Bound Siren, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it in one of the spots on my board here. I'm going to put it here. You can see each of these spots have a modifier to my creature's stats. And you'll note that my board has different modifiers than my opponent's board because of the leader that my deck has chosen. So there's 6 different leaders that give your different boards different stat modifiers or abilities. So I'm going to press go. Okay, so they ended up playing their thing that made their thing soulless. So soulless basically wipes all keywords off of something. So both of these things are rendered textless basically, so the hunt doesn't apply anymore. So you can see then, because this didn't have the hunt, these just both dealt damage to each other. So their 2 damage thing did 2 to me, and my 1 damage thing did 1 to them. Every turn, you get to draw another card. You get to draw another card, and once over the course of the game, you can hide a 3rd card from your opponent. So this is a Mana Magnet, which is basically a counter spell if it's deployed to the board. So it's actually probably an okay one to hide, so they don't know that I have the potential to counter a spell from them. Yeah, the game mechanics are very unique. Like, a lot of games like Hearthstone and Runeterra have direct parallels to each other, or have direct parallels to Magic, and the way the game mechanics in this work, it's very novel. End of turn, kill a random opposing creature with 3 HP or less. If this is successful, it erases the overloaded Scion. So they have a couple of Tremors here, which deal 3 damage to something, deal 3 damage to a row, and then 1 damage and everything else. And there's some positional elements to things like this, spells that affect entire rows or entire columns. So those are things to keep in mind too when you're positioning, in addition to the modifiers that the spaces give individually. I think I'm going to go ahead and deploy the Mana Magnet. I'm going to go ahead and put it down over here. They played their other soulless card. So normally our cards have effects on them, but these cards made them soulless, so they wipe their effects away. Summon a bandit in a space on your board. It deals 2 damage to a random opposing creature. And the bandit has hunt. So I'm actually going to go ahead and deploy this here in the rage square. Rage means the unit gets bigger each turn while losing a life. And they deployed a Mana Magnet, so they actually get to counter my spell there. So there isn't blocking. So units in this game attack your opponent's life total directly each turn, with the caveat if they have the hunt mechanic. So Gold Knight, for example, is a very powerful unit because it has hunt, which means it attacks my opponent's board each turn, whittling down their resources. So I'm actually going to go ahead and deploy this now, I think, because I want to start attacking their stuff. I'm going to put him here, I think, so he has 1 extra toughness, so he's harder to kill. My opponent actually also played out a Gold Knight there. The game clips along pretty quickly. Yeah, the bots deck does look like a more controlling deck. is accurate. So you'll note here, this guy summons a Phantasmal Lancer, and when the Lancers died, they left corpses in the square. So these are actually the first things we've had that have died on the board. So there's cards like Shadow Strings, for instance, that allow you to clear out corpse spaces, which is another resource you have to manage when playing the game to keep your board clear so you can keep deploying units. Yes, Breath of the Wild was excellent last night. You're not wrong. Each turn, deal 1 damage to a random opposing creature, repeat twice. I think I want to play the Alchemist out here. This allows me to start pressuring their board some more too. I'm going to go ahead and deploy it into this square so that way it gets an attack. Opponent played a spell. They tremored. Oh, they killed my dork. Each turn, deal 2 damage to random opposing enemy creature. End of turn, deal 3 damage. So these are 2 6s, which is a little annoying. I could Shadow Stirrings here to clear all the corpses out of my board, but I think I'd prefer to get a 5th corpse in there before I do that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and play her out and see if she can help me get control of the board here. This specifically targets my creatures with Hunt. Okay, so all of these spots have corpses in them, so I can't deploy more units to the board here until I clear out some corpses. It's currently turn 7. The game ends on turn 12, so we're going to have 6 more turns to play, and we'll see the entirety of our deck by then. What does life mean on my board? That means creatures played in this space gain. At the end of each turn, the controlling player gains 1 life. So if I can keep a unit in this spot, I'll gain a life back each turn. And this gives rage. So, like, my opponents lead, all of their spaces are just stat modifiers, but some of mine have life and rage, and some of the other ones have some different modifiers as well. Different keywords that are granted. I think I'm going to go ahead and Scattershot here. It deals 1 damage 6 times at random, basically, but this, in conjunction with my Ashen here hitting things, should allow us to clean up a good bit of their board. What spells does my opponent have? Something I haven't gotten too careful paying attention to yet is my opponent's spells. I guess there's a good chance my opponent tremors this turn to kill this, which makes playing Scattershot a lot less appealing. Maybe I'm just supposed to tremor as well. I could also just Shadow Stirrings to clear out the corpse. If she's gonna die, though, I probably don't want to do that this turn. I guess I could just Court the Blind to kill this. I wonder what happens when I give Mana Magnet to something that's soulless. Oh, I can't target the soulless thing. That makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and just Tremor this line on their board and see what they do. I think they're gonna Tremor as well. Creatures played in this space each turn gain the ability to erase this creature. Interesting. So they had a card that modified my board space. So she's theoretically going to kill these two. I think I'm just... Maybe I just Shadow Stirrings here to clear all these out. They played a Mana Magnet. This actually works out okay for me, though, right? Because the Mana Magnet gets rid of this, and then she's going to kill both of their boards. Although I suppose the downside now is I no longer have a way to clear out these corpses until I draw my other one of those. It's a pretty big downside. I guess I'll just go ahead and play Spell Thief here to attack for the turn. They also played a Spell Thief. So hopefully our second card, one of the changes I made to the deck before we started playing was I cut one of my cards that lets me remove corpses. I cut down to 2 of them, and maybe that's too few of that style of effect. It's looking like that's too few of this style of effect. Yeah, this is Haunt is the card I had before. That's gonna let them clear out some corpses here and deal damage to my stuff. Alright, Shadow Stirring, sick. Nailed it. So this is our other card that lets us clear out our board. So definitely playing this. So Shadow Stirrings fills my board with 3/2 soulless things for each corpse. It's a big swing turn to allow us to catch back up. So this is the final turn. So we've seen the entirety of our deck at this point. Erase up to 3 corpses on your board, deal 1 damage to all opposing creatures for each corpse erased. I guess I just play something that has attack here, huh? And then at the end of the 12th turn, whoever has the higher life total is the winner. I came for the non-magic contest. What's going on, Podgens? I really appreciate you re-upping that Prime support. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So like I said, there isn't a flashy victory animation at the moment, so this is a smaller indie project, and they're currently in beta. But the gameplay itself has felt very, very reasonable. It's very, very unique in the types of mechanics that it goes through. Yeah, I agree. The fact that you see your whole deck each game means that you get to execute what you're trying to execute fairly consistently, and you play simultaneously with public information on both sides, a really neat twist as well. That being said, I think I want one more way to remove corpses. I guess the 2 ended up working out. Let's play a couple with just the 2. We'll see if there's human players to be had. Last time we played, we got a couple of human players at the end. And remember, if you wanted to take a crack at playing with me, you can check this out in your web browser for free. You could pop on in and play with us here in the ranked queue. Is there an option to mill? No, nothing like that, Karam. There is a mechanic in the game called Force Redraw, where you take cards out of your opponent's hand and put them to the bottom of their deck so they don't get them back until the very end of the game. So there is disruption in that perspective, but no, there's no, like, decking people in this game. Yeah, I should pop on into their Discord to let them know I'm looking for matches. All right, we got one. Where can you find the decks from the Gauntlet this morning? They're all on my Mobalytics page, to win, and they'll be in the video description today when I post them on YouTube later. Yeah, I think I like our hand. We've got some interaction. We've got some mana magnets. We've got a way to clear corpses. I think I'm gonna hide my slow unit, my other piece of removal, hiding the ability that I have, the ability to interact with their board seems important. As far as making sure they have a tough time making decisions. So my opponent's board here just looks like different stat modifiers. So it looks like their deck has a bunch of different pump effects in it. They have a couple of slow cards here that they can't play right away. So I would assume, based on these two being pump spells spaced up and these two being slow, these are probably units here waiting to be played. Go ahead and deploy my mana magnet to start, because it feels like they're going to have a lot of spells to play out. I'm gonna hide the scatter shot for now. So another piece of removal I don't mind them not knowing about. And I think I'm again just going to go ahead and deploy a mana magnet here, because they have a lot of spells in their hand. Oh, we're waiting for the opponent. They're deciding if they want to hide their card drawn for the turn or not. So again, you can hide, you draw a card every turn just like in most games, and you can hide one additional card. So you get 3 total hides over the course of the game. 2 in your starting hand, and then 1 of your draw steps. Opponent. Okay, they elected to not hide it. Each turn, erase a corpse on your board. Success gains 2 attack and mana magnet. Interesting. I'm just gonna play the Scion out this turn, actually. Try and get some pressure going. They played a mana magnet of their own. So again, end of turn, these both deal damage equal to their stuff to the opponent. So I took 2 from that. They took 4 from this. This is going to be turn 3, so I think I want to deploy my Gold Knight down so he can start carving up stuff my opponent has. He deals damage equal to its power to one of my opponent's units each turn, so since this is a 2-5, I think I want to deploy my Knight onto one of my plus attack spaces, so that way it can kill their 2-5. Although, I guess there's some merit in... like, if they, like, Empowered Arms this... I guess they Empowered Arms this, I just get to spell to kill it with Mana Magnet at some point. Hey, no worries, Bluebird. I know how that goes. Unique target row on your board. Summon a Defiant Spirit in each empty space. Success, give all Defiant Spirits 1 extra attack. Huh? That kind of makes me want to play the Mana Magnet. Although I guess if I deploy this, I'm going to keep their board kind of in check anyways, and this is going to kill something as well. Maybe that's fine. They have a lot of things I wouldn't mind Mana Magneting later. And there's no guarantee they play this turn because my Mana Magnet is face up. So I think I'm doing this and hoping they don't play this card. I went for it. Okay, so this will make a bunch of spirits. Okay, so This is another way to get some removal going here. I think I'm into that. Although they could, this is turn 4, so this is a slow 6. They can't play that one quite yet. If I play a spell, it's gonna get mana magneted by this, but that's fine because this is gonna hunt down some of their stuff. So I think that's okay for me. Basically, doesn't matter where I play this, it's gonna get mana magneted. So this deals 3 to my thing with the highest power, so that means that's dead. This also makes the Defiant Spirit bigger. Okay, so we've got a bunch of corpses filled out on the board. Alchemist. Alchemist could be good here. This could potentially kill this. Get a random creature on board, 5 attack, repeat once. That's pretty good. I think I want to play the Alchemist to try and get their board in check here. Hey, True Vagabond. Thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, this is taking up a spot. Oh, I guess this is gonna kill... It's just gonna kill my stuff each turn. Maybe I'm supposed to court the blind and kill this. Well, I don't know if I can actually court if I don't have a unit on board. So I have to do something mana magnet. Really have a good way to kill this. I guess these don't have that much attack. I think we try and... Not that one. Oh, I do have to have a unit to play that. That's unfortunate. I think this is just gonna kill us. I don't have a way to take it off the board. I guess the play is like, hope Scattershot hits it 5 times at random, but it's incredibly unlikely. Hunt automatically attacks the highest power opposing unit. So even this won't kill this turn. I guess I could put this here and this will get to kill this Defiant Wisp at least. And then it's going to take 3 from this. And then next turn this could kill this potentially, but this is already turn 7, so we're going to have a little bit of a hard time catching up. Shadow Stirrings might be able to help us get there with all of these. That's a great one. So this deals 2 and then 3 damage to something on the board each turn. And then this should kill this, and then this will hopefully kill this, and maybe whatever else they put out here too. And then maybe Shadow Stirrings can erase all these corpses to make us 3/2s to catch back up. Oh, now this is gonna attack this. Oh, and this gained Mana Magnet. Yikes. So I actually can't play this spell out? I'm pretty sure this keeps Mana Magnet. Let's find out. Yeah, at least gets rid of the 5-power thing. And I guess I have a second one here, technically. This is turn 9. So we'll just Stirrings again. They have another Mana Magnet in their hand. I think if they play this, we're just out of the game. So they kill one of my things. We hit for 15. They hit for 8. I can't court the blind on soulless things. So it's turn 11, so there's one more turn after this. This is going to kill one of my things. They'll take 12. We'll take 8. Oh, and they have this thing that gives bonuses too, right? Yeah, this attacks this, but I think it's too little too late. So we have one more turn here, and I don't think we're capable of swinging. Yeah, I agree, Dr. Jez. And there's a lot of things to consider, especially because you, like, see both players' cards. I like the idea that, you see your entire deck most games. Because, like, that's one of the things that can suck in some other card games where, like, you don't actually get to execute, like, what your primary game plan is. And, like, at least here, you're guaranteed to get to do the thing. Whatever your thing is. Alright, I'm gonna hide my Mana Magnet and my Hunter. I'm gonna deploy my Hunter to start. Try and keep the board under control. Hey, Garlic the Clove. Thanks for 11 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. That's a fine one to hide. I hid my other Mana Magnets, so I don't really want them to know that I'm going to have one of those to play. Hey, Tactical Meteor. Thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome to Glendia. You're having a good one wherever you're at. I think I want to Tremor here to clean out this bottom row of things. Mr. Flanders, thank you for the 23 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So this thing has Rage 3, so it gains 3 attack and loses 3 life each turn. And then it deals 5 damage to the controlling player. I think it's like a truck. I've done a full playthrough of Act 1 of Baldur's Gate already, Garlic. You can see it up on my YouTube channel. What do we roll? We played a half-elf hunter in the game that we played. So I feel like... three Defiant Spirits. This card's really good. I think I want to go ahead and just play Gold Knight out. And because they have a 4-attack hunter, I'm going to put my Gold Knight in this spot here where it has an extra toughness. And they put theirs in a spot where it had extra attack. Alright, that's fair. Ranger, Hunter, Ranger, you know what I meant. Each turn gets 1 attack. Each turn gain 1 toughness for each creature with Rage or Resolve you control. Interesting. I feel like I want to continue keeping their board in check so their pump spells don't get good. Ashen Hierophant sounds real good. It's another card that helps us control the board. Deal 8 damage to every creature in that row. Yep. Well, I really need that card. I need a Shadow Stirring. So we're on turn 7. So that means there's 2 of them in however many cards we have. The problem is if my opponent deploys a mana magnet, we could get into trouble. And they have a mana magnet. So there's our Shadow Stirrings, but they have a mana magnet. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm just supposed to play. I don't have another spell that I can play, right? I think I just have to hit go, right? I don't have any legal plays. I wonder what happens when I don't have any legal plays. I don't think we've had that situation before. Yeah, missing a turn seems like a tempo loss you just don't recover from. And they had another mana magnet face down. Yeah, it'll do big. Let's try one of the other decks I was given by folks. That deck that we played a couple of times there was one that we threw together looking at a list of cards. This is a deck that I'm told is good. This is a Corpse Synergy deck. I'm gonna hide my removal again here. So again, I mentioned the different units have different spots on the board that do different things. So Hush, our lead here, has 2 graveyard spots where at the end of turn, these put corpses over them. And the Ghoul here explicitly must be played on top of a corpse and then slowly makes himself larger for each corpse on your board. So this will kill this. This will take 1. Corpses filling in those spots. So this makes my opponent deploying stuff while I have lots of corpses in play each good. Each turn, erase all corpses from your board. This gets 1 attack for each corpse erased. That's actually that good. I'm going to go ahead and play the Gold Knight out here. Deal damage equal to your self-inflicted damage, target creature, success. Change target card in your hand to Shattering Blow. Interesting. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and play the Ghoul King here. So he can start charging up his attack. He starts at -4 attack and then gets charging. So he's just going to gain +5 attack each turn. In regards to equipment, what would you prioritize getting first to help with streaming? A second monitor if you don't have one, or a third monitor if you already have a second monitor. I think three screens is pretty ideal. It says resolve 1, so it gains toughness each turn. They have a hunter here, so they could play this out to start attacking this. I think I'm just gonna play Dark Abandon here for now. Oh wow, and they just played a Mana Magnet. That's good for us, right? So this goes up to 6 attack now. And just womps on him. Once this guy go and he hits like a truck. Must be played on top of a corpse. Each turn, summon a corpse in a random empty space on your board, and then gets +1/+1. Perfect. Love. So we hit them for 13. They hit us for 11. And then this hits them for 5 as well. Yeah, it feels like they're not catching back up at this point. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Shadow Stirrings here. This will put 3 power things in all these spots. Like, this is at 10 with Rage 2. So it's just going to keep going up as is. So, just going to go ahead and do this and add more power. We might actually kill them before turn 12 here. Yeah, I have a deal 7 here in the Phantom Drive. I get to force redraw 2 cards out of their hand. I'm going to target there. Yeah, the ghoul there. Snowballed hard and fast. It's funny that the complete ranked popped up before the animation's finished. We are victorious. Look at that, chat. On the scoreboard. Just had to stop playing the bad deck we made ourselves. I'm sure brewing is easier when you know the card pool a little bit better. Yeah, having ways to leverage corpses' resources seems powerful because it takes something that's normally a detriment to like minimizing how you're able to position things and turns it into a strength or a positive. And again, if you're just joining us, this is Fatal Core TCG, which is a game that is 100% free of purchase, currently in beta, and you can play it in your web browser. So you can check that out by typing in !Fatal in chat and click on that URL. It's free to get started. The way they're monetizing their game is if you enjoy it, they have a Patreon that you can support them through, and when they hit various goals on their Patreon, everybody gets rewards for hitting those requirements. Kind of a neat way to do it. When I first read about how they plan to monetize, I was like, that seems weird. But then, like, I thought about it some more, and, like, in a way, that's basically how my job works, right? Like, I exist here because there's, 2,000 people on the internet that are like, I like what Jeff does, and I want him to keep doing it. Goal to start sounds great. Hide the mana magnet and the pain feast, I think. I feel like hiding your things that interact with your opponent tends to be optimal. They're also playing Hush. That is a big devil. Deploy my mana magnet to start. So this does 7 to us, but it also does 5 to them. So we're technically ahead at the moment. Crowdsourcing seems like a good mix of capitalism and socialism together. Yeah, I agree. This seems like a great one to hide because it deals damage equal to the corpses each turn. So this is going to allow me to control the board a little bit here. So we'll definitely deploy this turn so we can start getting their board in check, hopefully. All right, and they knew Mana Magnet was going to happen there. So this does 2 to that twice. And then I take 7 and they take 9. So they take 4 plus 5 from their own thing. Another goal. I'm gonna go ahead and deploy Enthralled Phantom, try and get that going here. That's super unfortunate. Well, I guess doing 2 to each isn't too big of a deal because I have a Haunt here. So we'll go ahead and Haunt to clean up their board. Oh, that's what their deck is doing. I was like, why? The 7/7 does not seem good. They're playing a card that summons soulless copies of it, and soulless wipes all the text off of it. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I think I want to put the goddess Lydia, or the Great Phantom Lydia down here. They're caught back up at this point. They're doing a little bit more damage than we are. This doesn't quite let me get too far ahead. I think I want to deploy this because it fills up corpses for us too, and also to let me hunt down their stuff slowly. Shadow strips, yep. This might be a game where they kill us before we get going, huh? Although I guess we're really close here, huh? So they took 15, we took 18. Deal 2 damage to all opposing creatures. Yep. Force redraw. Oh, you know what? I messed up. I should have... Get rid of one of the random cards. I should have deployed this in this top row based on how the spacing mechanics work out. Yeah, the Enthralled Phantom here is really going to work. Okay, so there's a chance this is the last turn just because of how much life they're at. I kind of think I just want a Shadow Stirrings to, like, replace corpses with some extra power, because they're almost dead at this point. This will give me 2 3/2s. The Wraiths. Well, if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, my internet connection just died, apparently. Did your internet just cut out? Are you still online, babe? Yeah, I think the internet just cut out. Probably buffer. Well, my internet connection has just completely cut out. So that's a wrap on this video. I'm going to be back with more Fatal Core on Wednesday and Friday. And we'll run a little bit late on both those days, make up for the fact that today got cut a little bit short. I have no idea what happened. My full fiber connection is just out. I've restarted my modem and router, and we'll see if that gets me back up or if there's just an area outage. So awkward, sucks, but at least the first time it's happened in a while. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you.